Everybody, back to Tanya, chapter 33, part 2.
2 more weeks for the Rosh Hashanah.
That's right, baby. You better start shaping up. All right. So if you're waiting to a chocolate cake.
Shaping up with chocolate cakes.
Exactly. But around is also a shape.
Leftovers from the previous class.
When I grew up, it was you had to eat leftovers. I always joke with my mother. Tuesday or Wednesday was Patty's night. Patties basically meant my mother put everything in the frying pan and made it into a patty.
That's like the children from Friday, right?
Well, whatever. Basically, that was code for let's get the money together and order in because I felt bad for my father. He had to eat it, but we ate cereal milk.
I saw a picture of your father just now. There was an advertisement for
my brother's.
He's gonna sing with your brother.
He's the chazan. Well, he's not a chazan. He's a bal tefillah, they call him.
Yeah.
He's not a
Your father.
He's been doing it for 40 something years more. Yeah.
Is going to be the event.
Oh, where is that?
Here. No. At the Marriott, where his brother doing it with the front.
I once tried to convince my father to come pray here, and it caused a little bit of a family.
It's gonna be Penny, Effie, and his father.
Oh, he's on the flyer.
Yeah, his father with the fancy beard.
I'm not the famous brother. You guys got the.
Remember Feinstein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys picked the wrong.
Wait, do you want me to restart?
That's okay. Okay, chapter 33. Last week.
Which one? This one? Is it this?
Wait,
one?
you're the 8th brother, for the record.
The 6th brother. 8th child, 6th
let's
brother.
Just call you the 8th brother.
Yeah.
For whoever knows the reference.
Exactly. So in last week we learned that a person has to take into account the gravitas and the importance of every single person, because we exist now in 2025, Tafshin Pei Hey, almost Tafshin Pei Vav, not 5785, almost 5786, and it says that explains that when Hashem created the world with one thought, with one like paint stroke, so to speak, he saw the entire creation. That means check it up after. That means he when he created the world, he saw you, and he needs you to do your mitzvah. And we learned this was the 11th of one of the 12 verses the Rebbe compiled that every person should know by heart and take the heart every day. Zeu kol adam v'tachlis priyasa, and this is the purpose of the person, the creation and the creation of the world, is in order to make a dwelling place for God down here. And we spoke about the significance of the word dwelling. Not just, obviously Hashem owns everything, but to own something, big deal. There's no personalization when you own it. When it's personalized, it means something special for you. It means you can express yourself. So Hashem says, it's not enough that I created the world. I know I'm the creator. I want to be recognized as a member, so to speak. Right, and that's our job. Dira, to make a dira. Now, how do we come to that? And because of this, for this reason, Tiknu, the rabbi, is instituted Litein Shevach Vaidol Ishmei Bechol Baker, that we give praise and thanks to Hashem every single morning. This is in the Siddur before Hodu. In the modern Siddur, in the blue Chabad Siddur, it's going to be around page Adain Alan's page 12.
For morning Shema.
Yeah. It's going to be around page 14, 15. It's Ashreinu Matev Chalkeinu. How lucky is our part, and how beautiful is our inheritance. This is, by the way, the core of Chabad philosophy, how we approach another Jew. If, in the olden days, when I guess it was a guarantee that everybody was going to be religious, so Jews would complain a lot. It'd say, it's hard to be Jewish. Sometimes, you gotta be, it's not always easy to be a Yid. But then the Jewish community moved to the United States, and American kids don't want to hear about difficulty. The right way to build muscle is to go to the gym. But now you can get something that on your side that makes you just sit there and you have automatic. right? Someone told me they got that thing. I said, oh yeah, oh, it was you.
He pointed at Inon.
Richard.
Inon was the one he pointed at.
I got it too, but it's a fraud.
Oh, it's a fraud. So you're saying you actually have to go to the gym?
Yeah.
Oh man, forget about. I'm out.
You gotta use that in the gym. It doubles up.
Oh, there you go.
It's awesome.
Really?
So the point of the matter is that, especially in modern times, no one likes difficulty. You go to somebody and you say, "You want my product?" It's very hard to. It's very hard to get used to. It's very intricate. A lot of details. By the way, when Yaakov wanted the birthright from Esav, what did he do? He told Esav, sell me the birthright. So Esav says, what's the birthright? Well, if you walk into the Holy of Holies, you're the firstborn. And at that time, the firstborn was supposed to be the Kohen. If you walk into the Holy of Holies, and you're not ultimately pure, you're dead. And you do, you're dead. Esav said, I have 10 ways to die. It's not even breakfast yet. Right? So it's like, you can have the...
He's like, no, breakfast you also have to make. I'm here making the lentil soup.
Right.
Even that you have to make.
So no one wants to buy in. But if you go to a fellow Jew and you say you want to put on tefillin, so it's the most amazing thing. Shabbos, kosher. He said, we are the luckiest, greatest thing. We invented sliced bread. I don't know, did we? Probably. You know who didn't invent the sliced bread? A Sephardi, that's for sure, because they rip apart the challah. Okay? It was definitely an Ashkenaz person who invented sliced bread.
Are you allowed in a Chabad to cut a challah bread with knife?
Of course.
Huh?
You do a blessing, Shabbat dinner.
Yeah, we cut the challah with a knife.
Do you cut it with a knife?
Yeah.
Only with
Allowed.
Only
You can
you know.
tear it apart. It's not.
Oh,
not.
yeah?
Yeah.
The
The
custom
whole-
is to do it with
And
the
the
Yeah.
whole table is a representation of practices from Beit HaMikdash, and you weren't allowed to bring metal into the Beit HaMikdash, which is why you tear it.
Whoa. You're like, it's a representation, but not a literal representation. Doesn't mean you're not allowed to cut challah.
I always
Well,
thought that you were allowed.
isn't the act of cutting work?
No.
Didn't they use a
Work
shamir
is-
to cut the challah?
Work is defined by what the construction for the Mishkan, not by. Anyway,
All right.
so
It's an electric knife.
there you go. They're one of those. Exactly. If you have a Gentile cut the challah for you, then it's okay. Right? So the point of it is, this is what we say, and many times it's in the morning prayer. It's in the beginning, so we run through it, but we shouldn't run through it because this is the foundation of our whole service of Hashem for the entire day. How lucky are we? You are special. We are special, and you have to consider yourself. So let's say, for example, did anyone win the lottery? By the way,
like 5 shekels.
no, I'm saying that the 1.78
I
billion.
read that
Anyone,
there are two winning tickets.
right? So let's say, for example, right? I won the lottery. Just saying, right? And my kid, through no effort and not because they did anything special, now is a child of someone who owns millions and millions of dollars. Why? Just because they're my kid.
Are you
My
allowed to
kid.
gamble and play the lottery?
The question is lottery play, gambling, whatever it is. Okay, we're not gonna. That's aside. Let's wait.
Play the numbers.
Right.
Play numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
In Brooklyn.
No, the whole thing. The difference. Some people say you can't do roulette. You can do other things, but we're not going to get into the halakha part of it. Okay. But the point of the matter is, let's say the child of the person that won is walking around and saying, "My dad won the lottery," and how lucky am I that I won the lottery? And not because you did anything to earn it. You're special. Why? Because you're lucky. So that's it. You were born a Jew. You hit the lottery. You are special. Kloimar, for example, for example, if a person finds out that he has a rich uncle, right? His name is. He finds out that the Rockefellers, whatever it is, that he has some rich uncle that
Really, you're not going to use Rothschild? No.
Rothschild. Yeah, exactly.
Man, Rothschild.
Yeah, right. There's enough anti-Semitism. It was open the whole time. It says, inheritance that he got through no toil of his own. Cain the Yesmekin. And he's so happy, and how much more so? How happy we should be on the inheritance that our forefathers gave to us. Each one of us identify as a Jew because our forefathers and matriarchs, they bought in. They laid something on the line in order that we should identify as a Jew. So the fact that we have a Jewish awareness is not because we're special. It's because our grandparents and parents sacrificed, and we're special. And what is this? What is this special it that our forefathers? Excuse me, it's all your fault. You got me assaulted. Our forefathers sacrificed so much for is yichud Hashem emiti. This is the true unity of Hashem. Asher filu be'erev v'tachas einem avadei. And the truth of the matter is that this unity, this presence of Hashem, is everywhere. And there is nothing beside him. So the different cultures have said big monuments and big temples and A, B, and C. The Jewish way has always been we serve the one God, and that's the truth. That is the true meaning in life. And it's not that in other religions or beliefs they believe that God's up there, He's not watching, whatever it is. Judaism has always taught that all our actions can be synthesized and synchronized to make the world a godly place. And this is what the rabbis say. It says, Patriarch mitzvahs nitnu l'Torah. So it says, Hashem gave the Jewish people 613 mitzvahs. Ba Chabakuk, you ever heard of Chabakuk? Everybody heard of Isaiah and Jeremiah and Samuel. Poor Chabakuk is buried all the way to the end.
Theory. Chabakuk, Job, and Asaph are all talking to each other about the same subject, and where one asks a question, the other answers it. It's one conversation between the three of them.
I don't know. I'm not a scriptural. I'm not a scholar. Period. But it says it comes Chabakuk vermidon al achas. And Chabakuk said, "You want to." It says put it to one. The one common denominator of all of it is the tzaddik ve'benosei yichya. So the tzaddik lives by his faith.
What is that one though? Like one mitzvah?
The one concept. He's going to explain.
Concept.
He's going to explain. What does it mean? Kolaymar.
No, I know, but he says v'hayamidan alachat. What is he putting? What is that?
You'll see. You'll see. 437 in the new print. In the old print, sorry. Kolaymar just means to say, ki'ilu. As if to say all the mitzvahs consisted of this one mitzvah of faith alone. That in order to do all the 613 mitzvahs, you gotta have this belief. And what is this belief? The belief is that Hashem needs you to do the mitzvah. Because if you don't see, if you don't see yourself as an integral cog, important link in the chain, then what's motivating you to do the mitzvah?
Is that itself a mitzvah?
What?
To believe that you are the guy Hashem needs you to commit to fulfill these mitzvot.
Because you're believing, you could tie it into the believing in Hashem's perfection, one of the 13 commandments. To believe that something is extra or superfluous or unneeded is to go against Hashem's perfection. When something is perfect, everything is perfect. If I do something that's imperfect, then I'm not perfect. Right? Makes sense? So Hashem created you, that means He needs you. Now, there's a whole debate online on YouTube between Rabbi Manis Friedman and the rabbi of BRS, Rabbi Ephraim Goldberg. But can we say God needs you or not? If you want a nice debate, you can go on YouTube. They spoke to each other, and then each put out their own videos to stress their point.
Rabbi Mani says that he needs us, no?
Because he chose to.
Yeah,
and once he BRS Boca Raton Synagogue.
What's the name of it?
BRS West is where we were.
What's his name?
Rabbi Goldberg is the rabbi of Boca Raton Synagogue.
It's another guy.
No, it's a massive shul.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has multiple rabbis there.
Then what was the discussion?
Can we say God needs you? So Rabbi Goldberg says that no. It's just the God way of saying it, but He doesn't actually need it. Manis Friedman says, once God chooses to, now He does. He doesn't inherently need it, but once He decided to need us, now He needs us. But Hashem created the world, and He wants you, and He needs you to do the mitzvah. So when you believe this, that it invigorates every single mitzvah. If you don't believe you're special, then why are you doing it? Right? I mean, your mitzvah, it makes a big difference. There's a mashal, an anecdote they would tell us as kids. There was once a very rich man, and he was very, very generous, and he had a big mansion, and in the mansion he had this big ballroom, and the prized possession of the ballroom was a big, big chandelier. One time, a poor person came, and he said, "I'm cold, I'm hungry." So he gave him food, and he gave him clothing, and he gave him all the clothing he needed, and he put it in a bag, and he was looking around for something a zip tie, to close it. He told me, "Go upstairs, you'll find it." He went upstairs into the attic, and he sees rope, all long ropes. He takes out his pocket knife, and he starts cutting the rope. When he finishes cutting through the rope, all of a sudden, he has a tremendous smash. He goes downstairs, and he sees the whole chandelier is in the garbage. And the guy says, "What did you do?" He said, "All I did was a little rope." He said, "But your little rope contributed to the destruction of my beautiful chandelier." Sometimes we don't realize our action makes a very, very, very big difference for the positive, and God forbid, for the otherwise. So when we believe that Hashem needs every single yid, every single person to do their mitzvah, and your tefillin, each one of our tefillin is different. Each one of our Shabbos and kosher, it's all different. It's all special. It's all unique. So when you believe you're special and you're unique and you're needed, it makes you feel. I mean, it makes you feel upbeat, and it injects an energy in every mitzvah. The Hainu, what does it mean? Kishia liboy, sas v'sameach. His heart will rejoice and be glad. Be'emunasei, with the belief, b'yuchad Hashem b'tachlis simcha. That when you do the mitzvah, you are uniting with Hashem, and that will bring you to the ultimate happiness. Ki'ilu lo yisalav rak mitzvah zu levada. And this also about it. It's a very powerful line. The Alter Rebbe just said we should sit on this. And this is the only mitzvah. Remember that famous story I told you, but the Ravid, I think it is? No? Radvaz. Where he got a letter. I can't remember which rabbi it was. He got a letter of the Jew that was in jail. And his I think this is in the 12, 13, 1400s. And the guy who put him there said, "You can go out one day a year." He wrote to the rabbi. He said, "What day should it be? Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Pesach?" No, what day is it?
Tomorrow.
So most people say, "What, Pesach or Yom Kippur?" The rabbi said, "Tomorrow, the first day, because whatever mitzvah you have now, there's nothing else. That is the mitzvah. Too often we get preoccupied with even if I do this mitzvah, I'm not doing the other mitzvah, so it disqualifies. Out there was writing over here, the opportunity you have to do this mitzvah, that's the most important thing. Nothing is more important than right now. It's a very, very strong point we can take to battle the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara many times tries to dampen our. We just read in the parsha last week. What's Amalek? Amalek tries to cool our enthusiasm for Judaism. What does it say? You're going to do a mitzvah, big deal. What's one mitzvah going to be? And all the things that not mitzvahs you've done, relax, don't bother. And even if you do the mitzvah, do it, mail it in. It comes out there and says that when Hashem created this moment, Kabbalah explains that every mitzvah. We're coming now to Rosh Hashanah, and any of you do daily Tanya here? You do the daily Tanya?
I open the app, yeah.
I open that. So the Alter Rebbe asks a question. It says in Parshas Eikev, we read a few weeks ago, it says the eyes of Hashem are upon Israel, upon the land, from the beginning of the year until the end of the year.
It said it today.
Oh. It says, why not just say forever? So the Kabbalah explains that every single year there's a new energy. And that energy is divided into 365.
Renewed and elevated.
right? That energy is divided into 365 subsections. And those 365 subsections are divided into 24. That 24 is divided into 12, and down to the minute, down to the second. I mean, the whole world was created for now, this moment, for you to do the mitzvah. So the only thing you have to worry about is now, this mitzvah. So, and when you think about that, Hashem created the whole world just for me to do this mitzvah. You're going to feel very, very excited. Vihi lavada tachlis brisa. And this mitzvah you're doing now, that is the purpose of creation. And all the more you learn in Kabbalah, the supernal world, Asilus, Bria, all that. So let him rejoice in the mitzvah, and by the power of that, of his soul, b'simcha rabba zu, with this tremendous happiness, this Allah nafshe lamayla mayla, his soul will be able to elevate. I'll call mitzvahs. So let's say, for example, you woke up in the morning and your shoulder hurt and your toe hurt, whatever it is, and mitamol you won $1 billion in the lottery. You think you'd still be thinking about your shoulder? All of a sudden you forget about your shoulder. Right? Or let's say you have a relative, far away land in Israel, whatever it is, you haven't seen them in a long time, and you're kvetching, and all of a sudden they walk through your door. You jump up, hey, Mendel of Rome, whatever it is. What happened? What happened? A second ago you were kvetching, you're complaining for those who tear apart the hell. And now you forgot about it because the joy. It says simcha pirates gather. It says joy breaks through boundaries. And when we're happy because we're invested, then any obstacle or any reasoning to stop us. Sometimes you're on vacation, and you get lost. You're like, don't worry about it. It's all part of it's all part of the experience. When you're in a happy place, problems don't seem like big problems. So when you realize that every moment is an opportunity to serve Hashem, then there is no obstacle. There's only opportunities. So like that story, I think now is a worthwhile time to repeat the story of the two brothers who were in jail. Rabbi Elimelech of Lizhensk and Zusha of Anapoli. They were arrested, I don't know. Yeah, the Menendez brothers. Yeah, but Menendez brothers they were denied parole. Huh?
Isn't Zusha, wasn't he the Baal Shem Tov's one of his students?
No, the Maggid students.
Maggid students.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they were both the Maggid students.
Yes. Okay.
And they were arrested. I don't know what the crime was. They were arrested. I don't know if they were.
Polonia, right?
Huh?
How do you say of Polonia?
Zusha Anapoli.
Okay. Right.
And they were put together in a prison cell, and in the cell they were with a lot of lowly individuals, and in the cell there was a pail there, a chamber pot, and all of a sudden Elimelech Lizhensk is all in a negative mood, and his brother Zusha goes to him and says, Elimelech, what are you so upset? He says, because I can't daven mincha. I'm going to miss out my opportunity to daven mincha because according to the code of Jewish law, you're not allowed to pray to God in a filthy, smelly place. And you can imagine, it was a filthy, smelly place. So Zusha tells his brother, he says, Melech, he says, the same God who tells you to daven mincha is now telling you not to daven mincha. So you're serving God by not davening mincha. So Melech realized he's right. So they started singing a niggin, and they started contemplating the fact that they're serving God by not davening. They're serving God by not serving God, and they started becoming happy, and they started dancing around the pail, and then everyone joined into into the shenanigans. They're all dancing. The guard comes in. So what's going on? So one of the guys said, I don't know, but those Jews, something with the pail, they're serving God, they're connecting, they're happy about the pail. Says, what? The pail's bringing them joy? I'm taking the pail out. And Zusha goes to his brother, Melech, now we can daven mincha. Right? So there's a concept of wherever you are, that's where you're serving the Eibishter. And you're invested in the moment. And that's where Hashem... Yes, 100%. Terrible. Life was miserable. By the way, you should know, I was listening to Beryl Wine, who just passed away. You know Beryl Wine, the famous historian? He just passed away. He's the most famous Jewish historian.
What's his name? After your season.
Beryl Wine. No, I was thinking in the past 50 years.
Okay.
Very famous. He gave a lot of classes. He wrote many books. A very well learned man, secular and religious. And he once in a history class he said, all these people that glorify the shtetl because they watched Fiddler on the Roof, so they don't know what they're talking about. So living in the shtetl was terrible. You were hungry always, cold always, dirty always. You know, people can kill you. It's all the people think life was miserable always. Anyway, go back. And this is what Habakkuk said. He said, with his tzaddik, with his emunah, Yichya. He says Yichya means he will live. Yichya means like he'll be revived. Just like the revival of the dead, for example. So a person who's feeling dead inside and cold, and his service of Hashem has no vitality, has no oomph, has no energy. Yichya will live when he believes and he understands just how special he is. He's simcha keful mechupelas, and it's a double and redouble joy. Aside from the soul, neshama, the opportunity we've covered before, that neshama is in a state of exile, and now it's being released and it has a chance to unite with Hashem. Why
כפולה ומכופלת?
Because you're talking, you have to realize the status of where the soul is. The soul is in a terrible surrounding. It's one thing a person comes home. At the end of the day, you come home, you feel happy. Imagine the hostages when they're coming home. Hashem today. Right? You're coming home and they're coming home. It's not the same. Their simcha, their joy is.
No, but I get his question.
I
It's
understand.
it always goes together. כפולה ומכופלת. It's not.
Double, redouble, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it's trying to drive home just how joyous, the extreme of going from one status to other status. Then it's not only going from discomfort to a place of comfort. It's going from a place of absolute darkness and worthlessness to a place of meaning and home.
Maybe it has some reference to maybe one is joyous, double joyous, right? So he has his joyous, but then Hashem also is coming in and quadrupling.
Or maybe you could be joyous. There's a regular day, and Sukkot your joy. Simchas Torah. Yeah. Yesterday I was with guys in 770, and I was trying to paint the picture for them in 770. The Rebbe would stand over here, and the place was going absolutely wild, insane. Anyway, it says,
Where are we?
we're holding where it says the 13th of Adar.
Okay.
In the old print, it's 438. In the new print, no? Yeah. Furthermore, Yismach b'cheflayim b'simchas Hashem. He's going to have a double joy. Why? So you have the joy of the soul being happy. That, so to speak, is subconscious. The soul is being happy. And then his conscious self will be happy. Why? Because look at me. I'm worth something. I am bringing the Creator joy. So let's say, for example, you worked for the president or you worked for the 5-star general. And some guy said, hey, losers, excuse me, do you know who I am? I am a minister for the president, or this important person. I have Department of War, right? So I have value because I contribute. What is this great service that he's doing? The iskafia sitra achra mamish. So there's two parts to our service. Number one is to subdue, to control, to withhold. That we're not going to let the forces of impurity and lust and desire overtake us. That it's a geschmack hamburger, or it's a very luscious chocolate cake, right? Or like Rabbi Gordon says, a 7-layer cake. It's very, very good, but I'm not going to. Why? Because it's not productive. It's not conducive to my service of Hashem. And then there's the next level, the higher level, which is hapich, to turn over which once was an obstacle now into a tool. Chashech l'neir, we're turning over the darkness into light. Shehu chayshech, and what is this darkness? What is this obstacle? This is the darkness of the klipois shema'el mahazar chumri, of this material world. Because you look at the world, what do you see? You don't see godliness. You see everything else. People go, Rabbi, how can you believe in God? How can Mashiach come? The world is going to hell. The world is terrible. So first of all, you have to tell them that the world's not going, it's not so terrible as you think it is. It's going towards Mashiach. But imagine you could be the one to help a person see that they can imbue and make and shine godliness into the world.
But also it's like the structure, right? It's the world, like I think from Kabbalah maybe, it's like the world and then Choshech and then Klipot.
Are you talking about Choshech and Rafel? I don't know.
Don't know the Anan and Rafel, but just heard it today, I need to go back.
The greatest rabbis give a class. So you inspired? What did they say? I don't know, but it was great.
You read in this book, and it's like,
yeah.
oh, how was the book? It was amazing.
It's amazing. What did it say? I don't know. So there's two extremes. Either the rabbi is an idiot or the rabbi is great. But what the common denominator is, I have no idea what he said. So Ades Kate until the time. So your job is to try to make the world as godly a place as possible. To do your part to refine yourself, your own small environment, and then around you. It's called Makava Karev, what's around you. Then to try to expand until the time when Hashem will remove Kate the end to darkness, the Hainu Kate Yamin, which is the end of days that it talks about in the Torah. I think you're quoting Giv, right? Where Hashem will remove the spirit of impurity, the spirit of falseness, the spirit of stupidity from the world. The nigla kved Hashem, and Hashem's glory will be revealed. And everyone will see the truth. And we're not going to see the truth because we're going to be endowed with some superhuman laser X-ray vision. We're going to see the truth, just like you can see the can here because it's here, right? And if, let's say, for example, I take the plate and I ask you, can you see the can? You say no, not because the can's not here, because something's blocking it. So if I take away the plate, you see for what it is. The can's here. So Mashiach's going to come. What's Hashem going to do? Hashem is going to remove that facade. We'll see it for what it is. Bufrat,
Chesed.
Where are you holding chesed?
Well, it reveals right hand.
No.
Yamin is days. Oh, Hebrew means right. Yeah, the end of days will reveal his right hand, which is chesed. Yeah.
But is
reference chesed, because chesed is expansion, gvura is retraction. Right? In the beginning, Bereshis bara Elokim. In the beginning, Hashem created the world. What happened? It was an expansion of godliness, right? It was Vahiyar, it was light. That's chesed.
You're thinking the end of days, but it's really
no. But the end of days, the way we know it.
Yamin.
That doesn't mean Kate Yamin the way we know it. And then Kate at the end of our day, Hashem will reveal His Yamin, His right. Yeah, it's all interconnected, and especially especially in the diaspora. Because you go to Israel, everybody knows Israel is a holy place. Everybody knows, right? You go there, right? Everybody wants a piece of it. The people there are holy and special. According to halacha, this has to do with more biblical times. If a person sticks if they're on the border, they stick their hand or food let's say this food called truma, which belonged to the Kohen, and you were not allowed to impurify it. So if they would take the food and stick it over the border, the food would become impure, because the air of the outside of Israel is impure. We find out remember we spoke about the Ari Miklat, right?
Go ahead, remind me.
The 2.5 tribes that lived on the Transjordan, right? They needed 3 cities of refuge just for them, and the other 9.5 tribes had 3. The balance. Why? Because outside Israel,
These were the cities where you can take refuge.
Yeah.
if someone killed someone by mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Says because the lands of the nation, the atmosphere is unclean.
It's so true what you're saying that Mashiach is supposed to create 3 more outside of Eretz Yisrael as well.
The question is why?
Because there's
No, but then it's
when
not gonna
all
be-
of the world is gonna need a sort of system.
Yeah, the cleansing it. So the ain simcha lafani v'sbarich, and there's no greater joy. The greatest joy. 1 second. The greatest joy is when there's restriction, when there's limitation, and then like my daughter's in Israel, right? See, now these days we don't see it because now we have video calling. So my daughter called me, by the way, inside. I'm lost. She was crying. I said to her, "So you're almost 19 years old. Put yourself together." I said, "You think when I went to Israel I didn't get lost? Everyone gets lost. You ask for direction. That's part of it. Don't worry about it, right?"
When he came to my wedding, I told him, take a day, go to Jerusalem, and get lost.
Right.
Like purposefully
And,
get
and,
lost.
and when I went to school, we didn't have cell phones. We got lost.
I found a spot.
You were.
He found a spot in the old city.
I don't want to
We're
know.
looking at Kota. Oh,
Anyway,
beautiful.
yeah.
I met a nice Jewish boy in yeshiva. I met a friend.
Beautiful. That's
I
part
took
of
a
it.
shared taxi. I went to a bus ride.
You're supposed to get lost in Israel.
That's part of it. So so imagine you don't see a relative for a very long time, and all of a sudden you see them. There's a tremendous joy. So imagine, for example, the hostages, right? That they're in darkness. When they come back, God willing, very soon, they come back to freedom. They're going to appreciate Israel and everything else a lot more. Although they had falafel before.
How is this chesed done?
One
This
more
whole
time.
thing about the right hand.
Hold on, one time. So we'll get back to that. Let's finish this. We'll come back to that. Okay.
Understand that a little.
So there's much greater joy when, like for example, when you appreciate light over darkness. Let's just finish and we'll come back. Okay. Now we're up to verse number 12. Remember, I told you the Rebbe instituted 12 verses. This is the 12th. V'zehu shekosov. This is what it means when it says Yismach Yisrael be'esav. This is of 440. End of the chapter. Let the Jewish people rejoice in their Maker. It says it doesn't say creator. It says Maker. So Pirush. What does it mean? Shekol me. Every single person. Call me. Not only the righteous or the Lubavitchers or the Bnei Brak or no. Call me. Every single Yid. Shehu mizeri Yisrael. That is a Jew. Yesh loy l'smayach. He should rejoice b'simchas Hashem in the joy of God. Asher sas v'sameach, that he is causing his Creator joy by bringing him home. So like there's a famous concept in Medrash Shirim that when Hashem first created the world, Hashem's glory was everywhere. This is what the Rebbe spoke about, this first Maimer when he became Rebbe. When the world was created, godliness, the Shekhinah was here. But because of the sins of Adam and Enosh and Cain and all that, godliness was pushed away. Now, how great is the joy when we welcome godliness back? And who's given that opportunity? Who's given that job? B'nei Avram Yitzchak Yaakov, the children of Avram. That's you. That's you. So when you do a mitzvah, it's not just a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah. It's a crazy thing. One more story of Zusha Vanabali. One time they had to kick him out of the Beis Medrash, out of the study hall. Why? Because there was the class of all the great rabbis. And the Maggid was about to give a class, the Maggid of Medrash. He started off like many Mamorim, Chassidic discourse, to start with a verse, and then they expand. So he starts off saying, Hashem said to Moshe, saying, and all of a sudden it dawned on Zusha. Said, God spoke to Moshe? I mean, God came and made us special? I said, yeah, okay, it's been established. Okay. And he couldn't get past it. He couldn't get past the fact that Hashem came and asked us to do something for him. And they said, okay, you're not letting him. So they said, okay, goodbye. And they kicked him out. But this is what, when you have an opportunity to do a mitzvah, stop and think about what exactly what that means. What does that mean? The Maker. So he says, V'zeu shekasav oisav. This is the plural form, Lashon Rabin. says why is it plural when we're referring to God? Because in this world is a world of pluralism and dichotomy and many. So like it says in the back of the dollar bill, "I pluribus unum," out of the many one. Our job is to show that although we see so much difference in the world, is really Hashem Echad, is really one. She'u ha'il mahazeh, hagashmin, this material world, hamole klippus achra, is filled of cover and shell and obstruction and antithesis of God. Shenikra reshus harabim. It's called the public property. Who does public property belong to? Everybody. No, it belongs to everybody. That's what it means. Reshus harabim. Turi de pruda. But our job is to turn the reshus harabim, the public property, into reshus hayachid.
So
into one.
Your personal experience is asiyah, all the collective shared experiences, ba'asiyav.
Ba'osav. Not ba'osav, yeah.
Ba'osav.
Makers mean, and it's our job. It's our job to turn.
We would only understand how to bring all in asiyah, but my asiyah and asiyah, the only person that can relate to that is Bill Sav, which is Hashem.
No, so in the world of asiyah.
No, Sav is us.
Yes, the world of we are all different, and our job is our job.
But the only shared person in all of these experiences is Hashem.
Because Hashem gave.
I'm just understanding why they chose to say Be'el Sav and not
because
that.
It's us.
There's Asiyah, Yetzirah, B'riyah, and Atzilut.
But here we're focusing on the fact that because the Osav and his makers in plural, the world are plural. We're the difference, and our job is to show the unit, the oneness in the pluralism.
So the Be'el Sav is the shared collective experience. It's not God in all the shared collective experience.
Right. He says, and that's what it is. So we take the public property and we make it into private property. It says, we take the public property, which public property means, who does public property belong to? Everybody. But where is your part of Pines Boulevard? Can't see it. I don't know. I have no idea. So the whole world is public property. We can't see godliness. Our job is to reveal what's actually there. And to return the public property into private property. How do you do that? By believing you're special, you're unique, you're needed. When you believe you're needed, you have purpose. There was a story. A guy who, a cop, who came to a person who committed suicide. And he went back to his house, and in the suicide note, he said, "I'm going to walk to the bridge." He said, "If anyone says hello to me, good morning, I won't jump." The guy jumped. Why? Because no one told him he's special. No one told him he's unique. How terrible is that? Torah comes and says every single person in the world is absolutely integral part, not a throwaway part. It absolutely, without you, the world can't function. So when you think about it like that, then your whole mitzvah is a whole different mitzvah.